Radio Network. After our big win on the road against South Dakota School of Mines, back at it once again here, Coach. Thanks for joining us again on the Gary Goff Show. Surprised you're here, huh? The Gary Goff Show. But this is a long trip, but a fun ride home, huh?
Yeah, it was a long trip, but well worth it. And it was good to go on the road and get a big win. And it was a feel-good win because everybody that traveled played. Yeah. And of course, here it is Monday afternoon, and we're right back at working on Walsh, so the wins you don't enjoy very long.
Yeah, you can't, can you? Not in this conference, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Well, let's thank our sponsors before we dig into the game, to our broadcast here. Thank you to our title sponsors, which are CF Professionals Incorporated, Gary Gruse's office, and the Ohio Mutual Insurance Group, Jim Kennedy's office. Our other sponsors include Marco's Pizza, the Pioneer Mill Restaurant in Tiffin, Ralph's Joy of Living, Seneca Hills Golf Club, State Farm Insurance at Lape's office, Steyer Seeds, Tiffin Ace Hardware, and Viewpoint Graphics. Well, last week we took on the Hard Rockers from South Dakota School of Mines. They didn't want to come to Ohio. We didn't want to go out there, so we met at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, and got kind of a cloudy, overcast day. It kind of looked like weather was going to threaten a little bit, but ended up being a perfect day for football. It's just a little bit windy.
And the wind kind of died down a little bit as the game went on. But great venue. I mean, Drake University has a very nice stadium, real nice facilities. So really appreciate their athletic department letting us utilize the facilities there. And like I said earlier, both teams needed a game. South Dakota couldn't find a game, neither could we. So we met halfway, and it was a long trip, but not quite as far as Michigan Tech.
Yeah, yep.
The weather just missed us too, because they had a little bit of a rain, snow mix just north of us and south of us. So,
wow.
A little worried about that when I woke up that morning, but you're right. It kind of the clouds parted for us, and we got the game in, and it was, like I said, a feel-good win. So
absolutely. Well, let's get right at it, Coach. Dragons scored, I believe, the opening drive of the ball game. Go down at the 11:43 mark of the opening quarter, a 7-play, 74-yard drive, 3 minutes and 17 seconds off the clock, and your starting freshman running back, Jerry Brown, goes in from 6 yards out to get the scoring started.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when we first kicked off, I don't know if there was their jerseys or what, but they looked a lot bigger than us. So we were really worried up front, because they had some really big offensive linemen. And then on defense, their linebackers were big. Every single one of them was 230, 240. But, we did feel like the advantage we had was we might be a little more athletic. Yeah. And I think that showed up there at the end. But, opening drive was perfect. Knock on wood, I think that's been 4 straight games now where opening drive has been very productive for us. Pipkin did a good job of making some key throws and stepping up in the pocket when he had to. And then Jerry Brown, capped the drive off with a nice run and getting into the end zone right there. And, hey, that's exactly how we want to start the game.
Was that a go for 2, or was that a –
Yeah, it was something we talked about all week because they bring pressure off the front of field goals and extra points. And, so if you look at it there, their corner – leaps for the ball and goes for the breakup right there just about on every single PAT. So, we worked on it all week, and I tell you what, it was wide open. Tyler just he has the choice of running or throwing it right there, and he chose to pass it when he really didn't have to. And he's trying to throw it to Jerry Brown right there in the front of the end zone, who was uncovered, but we just missed him, threw it over his head right there.
Well, you talk about things that they like to do almost all the time, but defensively they like to put pressure on the quarterback. Yeah. They bring the linebackers almost every single play, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and we knew that. And we knew that gives some opportunities for some big plays. And, I think our offensive line did a really good job of protecting us and giving Pipkin a chance to get to his second, sometimes even his third and fourth read. And he did that on a few touchdown passes. So, that's a sign right there of Pipkin getting a little more confident in every game. And anytime you got a young quarterback, especially, and get to his third and fourth read, I mean, that's telling you the young man's starting to pick everything up.
Well, so the extra point conversion does not go as planned. So the Dragons have a 6-0 lead, and then Dragons crack the scoreboard again for the second score of the ball game. A 5-play, 58-yard drive that takes 2 minutes and 16 seconds off the clock. Patrick Boggs is a 4th down play. Yeah. 31-yard line, a little too far out for a field goal, especially at that time of the game because the wind would have been blowing in his face. Yeah. So you decide to go for it on 4th down. You bring in the big house backfield, and Patrick Boggs, a little bit faster than I thought he was when he got out in the open there.
Well, first of all, I think it's no surprise to people that we go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, it happens occasionally.
But, yeah, there was a stiff wind and coming right in our face, and you're kind of in that no man's land. If you miss it, they get the ball right there.
Or you kick it in the end zone, run a punt. It's a 10-yard difference.
Right. So, we went for it right there, ran a little off-tackle play, and Patrick Boggs is one of our stronger runners, so that's why he gets some of the short yardage carries. And he took it off tackle right there, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and then there was nobody else left.
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of giving him a hard time as, hey, Patrick, we didn't know you were that fast.
Yeah, well, we didn't either up in the press box. But we were hooting and hollering because once he got that daylight, there was no stopping him. He was getting big guy with that kind of speed. It's going to be hard for those smaller defensive backs to bring him down.
And the funny thing about that is last Wednesday I walk into the meeting room and the guys had up on the internet each other's high school highlights.
Oh, geez.
And Patrick Boggs' highlights were up there, and everybody in the room was going, golly, what happened to that guy? You were a lot faster in high school. So it's very ironic that in the game he gets a chance to show us his speed.
No doubt. That's fantastic. And then you end up going for 2 to try to make up for the one that was that you didn't get, and Antonio Pipkins' pass falls incomplete, and you still have a lead, though, at 12-0.
Well, actually, on that one, we caught it. It was to
that's right.
Yeah, that was to Snyder. Snyder bobbles it. So instead of catching it clean, we bobble the catch right there a little bit, which keeps us from getting in right there. So it's 12-0.
Yeah. Well, then the first score of the second quarter. So at the end of one quarter play, Dragons up 12-0. Get into quarter number 2, and a good running back for the Hard Rockers, DeAndre Bolden. Small guy, compact, about 5'8", but about 230. Those bowling ball type running backs. He goes in from 5 yards out on a nice drive by them. 13 plays, 75 yards, take 3 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock, and their extra point was good, and now the Dragons have a 12-7 lead.
Yeah, we kept that drive going a little bit too. We had 2 penalties right there that. Yeah, we got to be a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tell linebackers that when they're blitzing and going after the quarterback. But, their quarterback rolled out just a little bit, and as he was releasing the ball, we had a chance to maybe let up right there. Instead, we hit him, and they threw the flag. So I wish we'd have held up right there. That drive would have never carried on.
Sure.
But it did. Part of the game. We got to learn from that and play smarter and keep those, those bad penalties like that, off the books. But it was a good drive. They made a nice play right there. They're running back, and I think their entire team was pretty strong. Like I said, they were big and strong, just not quite as fast.
Yeah.
But good drive right there. I felt defense battle all the way down, trying not to break right there. But I think that personal foul right there of roughing the passer really put him in position to score, and unfortunately we weren't able to keep him out of the end zone.
Well, the Dragons still have a 12-7 lead at this point. And then the next score by the Dragons, I loved the effort from your wide receiver, Jeremy Armstrong, on this play. It was a 43-yard touchdown pass from Antonio Pipkin to Jeremy Armstrong, but Jeremy got most of those yards on his own and broke a few tackles. I mean, I got really excited on that one in the press box and was hooting and hollering after the 8-play, 66-yard drive that took 2:29 off the clock, the 43-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy Armstrong.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jeremy Armstrong's a great player. He was a former running back in high school. Big running back.
No doubt.
Almost 6'3", and he's probably about 220 right now. But, his running back skills kind of showed on that play right there. We had hit him on a crossing route right there. Antonio Mitchell made a great block downfield to spring him. And most long touchdown runs, whether it's a reception or a run out of the backfield, there's a good block downfield. And Antonio Mitchell did a good job right there making a block. And then I think Armstrong broke 3 or 4 tackles and then carried a guy into the end zone. So great play, great effort. We need big plays like that to sustain drives. And then, when you got somebody that gives that type of effort on a play and gets into the end zone, we feed off of it. Everybody feeds off that kind of effort and that type of big play. And after that happened, I think everybody was like, "What's my turn to score?"
Yeah, no doubt.
So it kind of ignited a fire right there. So a great play by Jeremy.
I was gonna say, on the sideline, with an individual effort like that, I'm sure you can feel the energy level just rise on the sideline. You see it in the press box. You can see everybody, the special teamers, defenders, by just on their feet, jumping up and down. It's just great to see that excitement level get going like that.
And I tell you what, it's sometimes us coaches, we don't see all of the play. I saw him catch it and get down the sideline. I'm back on my script saying, okay, left half, hash balls on the 20. And he went on to break 3 or 4 tackles and get into the end zone. So like I said, great play by Armstrong right there, and a great all-around effort by the offensive line, and then the receivers blocking downfield for each other.
I thought the offensive line played pretty well all day, considering everybody been moving around to get healthy people on the field. And I thought they created a great pocket for Antonio Pipkin almost the entire game.
We really only gave up 1 sack, and we just got beat on the edge right there. But other than that, they played really good up front. And, I've said this before, too. We're like a band of brothers up front. There's only a couple of us left. But I tell you what, they really take it personal. They have a pride amongst each other. They're going to get it done no matter what. And, they're battling, right now. So, again, for us to throw it 43 times right there and only give up 1 sack was a really good job by them.
Well, next touchdown was scored by the Hard Rockers, South Dakota School of Mines. Derek Graves, their number one receiver, he's a pretty talented kid as well. A 15-yard pass from their second quarterback, Ben Broker. You warned me that they would change quarterbacks sometimes in the middle possessions, and you weren't lying.
Yeah.
They did that quite a few times. But Ben Broker, two big quarterbacks, both of them stand about 6'5", 6'6", about 225. A 10-play, 79-yard drive that takes 4 minutes and 42 seconds off the clock. Their extra point was good, and South Dakota sticking around, 19-14 there in the second quarter.
Oh, exactly right. And again, another drive, we get them in a punt situation, and then we get a roughing the punter.
Oh, yes, yes.
And looking at that on film, we were pushed into the punter, but, still our guys should not have been in that situation to get the officials to have that type of call. So, again, not smart football right there. We forced them to punt. Let's make them punt. Don't give them, a free first down. And, those are kind of plays that, again, you let somebody's offense stay on the field. They start converting.
Can't do that next week.
No, we can't. Not at all. They finished the drive right there with a score, and we still are not sure why they play two quarterbacks. And because both are almost identical of each other.
Exactly.
And imagine how much better one could be if they gave him all the reps. But hey, that's somebody else's problem, not mine. So, but at that point right there, they're hanging around. That was exactly my thought and my comment to the team and to the coaches right there. Is guys, don't let them hang around. They hadn't stopped us on offense yet. We've just hurt ourselves on defense. We've stopped them, but yet gave them back-to-back drives where we gave them free first downs right there. And, don't let them hang around right there. We're giving them hope.
Absolutely. Well, the next touchdown by the Dragons, Tyler Jones, something he likes to do every once in a while is put the ball up in the air from the wide receiver position, hits Marcus Beerham on a 53-yard pass, and Marcus, I believe, will be joining us later on in the program today as well. But it was a 6-play, 80-yard drive that took 2:14 off the clock, and a 53-yard pass from Tyler Jones to Marcus Beerham, and Marcus took it in the house for the next Dragons score.
Yeah, we've been working on that play for a few weeks and just didn't get a chance to call it in the previous game. And with them playing so much man coverage, we thought, it might still be there. And funny thing about that is we kind of got a competition battle at some of the slot receivers because we got 3 ex-quarterbacks there, and they all want to throw it.
Well, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure they lobby to you quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. So the pressure is on Tyler Jones all week. Hey, in practice, it better be a perfect throw or we're going to give the next guy a rep.
Yeah.
And I tell you what.
He throws a nice ball.
He does. So does Snyder. So does some of the other guys, But I tell you what, made a nice play right there. Marcus was wide open. It seemed like the ball was in the air for at least 5 seconds.
It did. Oh, boy, did it ever.
And Marcus made a good play because he throttled down, let the ball come back over his shoulder. And they got called for a pass interference on that. Their defender did not look back for the ball and kind of bumped into Marcus. But, kind of sad thing about that play is great throw, great catch. You see a flag come in after we've scored, and you see Marcus not happy. He's not celebrating because he sees the flag, because Marcus has had 3 touchdowns called back this year.
Yes, he has.
Because of flags. So if you see on film it's a touchdown, Marcus kind of stands there and looks at the flag and is looking at the official. Everybody else is celebrating, but Marcus doesn't celebrate until he sees the official say pass interference. So it's kind of a delayed reaction right there. But again, we gotten just past midfield right there, and we figured, hey, let's go at it.
And then at the end of the second quarter, something that's been detrimental to the Dragons this year is those late first half scores. This time the Dragons turned the tables, and running back was getting a lot more playing time in the last couple of weeks. Oliver Cyprian.
Yeah, Oliver kind of brings a different element to us sometimes. We've had Jerry Brown, who's been very physical and hard runner, but Oliver's shifty and pretty quick, out of the backfield. So we've been mixing him in a little bit more and more here and there, and giving him a few carries, and he kind of fits our run game scheme because he can hit those creases as well. But we hit Oliver right there. I think we did a good job. We got the ball just under 2 minutes. We always run a 2-minute offense, so that wasn't putting any pressure on us to move the chains. But we got out of bounds on a few plays. We hit inside zone right there for a few plays. I think we had about 50 seconds on the clock when we got down there. And then I tell you what, very proud right there is seeing Pipkin go through 4 reads to find Oliver on the backside for that touchdown right there.
That's something he doesn't probably do in week 2.
Oh, no, no chance at all. So, again, as the quarterback coach and seeing on film him look 1, 2, 3, 4, throw the touchdown, great, really good job right there. And it also started up front because, there's been some times we hadn't had that much time to get through some of our progression right there. And
for sure.
Offensive line did a good job, and then finding Oliver right there in the corner of the end zone. Perfect.
That was a 7-play, 60-yard drive, a minute 23 off the seconds, minute 23 seconds off of the clock, and the Dragons' offensive explosion there in the first half, 33 points to take a 33-14 lead. So let's step aside, take a break. We'll come back, and we'll look at half number 2.
Perfect.
All right, you are watching and listening to the Gary Goff Show. I'd like to say hello to our friends on our YouTube channel as well as our friends listening and watching in the Tiffin and Seneca County area on Channel 10. We'll be back with second segment of the Gary Goff Show after this on the Tiffin University Dragon Radio Network. Goff Show here on the Tiffin University Dragon Radio Network. Dragons and the Hard Rockers of South Dakota School of Mines playing out at Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. We've talked about the first half, and Dragons 33-14 lead going into the halftime locker room. And Coach, what did you tell the kids? Is it more just keep the foot on the gas pedal and go, go, go? Or?
Well, yes and no. I mean, kind of a unique halftime experience too, because they put us in a locker room, divided that locker room with the door shut, obviously, but we were in 2 small areas right beside each other. So, usually before halftime, the coaches get together and start talking about adjustments before they go in and talk to the team. So, their staff was standing about 10 yards away from our staff, and I was like, guys, let's walk over here a little bit farther.
Yeah.
So we were making our adjustments, and then we hear their coaches yelling, and then they pulled some of their team out of the locker room, and then they were really getting after them pretty hard right then and there. And I'm just thinking, God, this is kind of weird, because I'm hearing what they're saying, and then I see them getting on their team. So kind of made us feel good that they were in trouble, obviously, but just unique. But we made our adjustments, went in, and then I really stressed to the guys it's 0-0.
Yeah.
Who are we to think that the game's over? We got a big lead. We can relax, because we've relaxed before, and it has almost cost us. So, we talked about the adjustments. We talked about it 0-0. We need to play like that, and we also need to play with character and not go out there and be showboaters or talk back and forth to the other team. So, was very happy with our demeanor at halftime. We were very, very excited, but at the same time they understood and said, hey, that's right, Coach. It's 0-0. Let's play hard.
We've seen enough crazy stuff happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Being Braves fans, we know anything's possible.
I hear you. All right, well, let's get into the second half. One of my broadcast partner, Matt Killer, and I's favorite plays of the year sets up this score. You only need 18 yards to go on your first touchdown drive of the second half, because big Brandon Davis gets through the line and blocks a punt, and then boy, he was trying to get a hold of that ball to keep going with it, but he wasn't able to advance it. But he did a great job of getting in there and blocking the punt.
He did. Defense did a good job of stopping. It was very important that we didn't let them go down and get a score to start the third quarter. So defense stopped them. They were backed up. And, they get into the offensive formation where if you put somebody back deep, they're going to try to throw it somewhere. And if you play defense, they're going to have the quarterback kick it.
Yeah.
And so that's what they did right there. And, Brandon Davis shot to the line like he was unblocked, and the quarterback kicked the ball right to his chest.
Yeah.
So we got the block punt right there. And then, like you were saying, it was kind of almost comical. He's trying to scoop it up and score, and he's got the quarterback jumping on his back, kind of going for a piggyback ride. It was just a lot of stuff going on right there.
Oh, yeah.
But, great job by Brandon Davis by getting the block right there, and a great job by defense stopping them 3 and out and then putting us in a situation where we got a short end of the field.
Yeah, it was only a 4-play, 18-yard drive, 2 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock, and another touchdown pass from Antonio Pipkin, this time going to Tony Shedd from 7 yards out.
Yeah, again, that was our third read on this play right there, and they kind of left Tony uncovered in the back of the end zone, so it was a nice, easy throw and catch. It's just how we drew him up.
Yeah, absolutely. That punt, it seemed like they were a little confused on what they wanted to do from the get-go.
Yeah, because they called a timeout. What was it, 4th and 3 or 4th?
I believe so. Yeah, short yardage.
they called a timeout, and so then we decided, hey, let's just play defense, because again, they were kicking into the wind. Even if they punt it, we don't have a return guy back deep, we're going to have the ball at midfield.
Sure.
So we played defense. I think they might have been looking for us to put somebody back deep after the timeout and looking for the easy throw. And when we didn't do that, it looks like they didn't know what to do besides just kick it. And I don't know if they really wanted to right there. So.
Yeah. Well, the Dragons get on the scoreboard again in the third quarter. Patrick Boggs with his second touchdown run of the game, a 15-play, 68-yard drive, taking 5 minutes and 49 seconds off the clock at the 4:10 mark of the third quarter. Patrick Boggs with another touchdown.
Yeah, no, did a good job right there. We overcame a couple of third downs, even a third and long on that drive right there. And, we'll take the 15, 16, 17-play drives because it keeps our defense fresh and off the field. So it was nice conversions all the way down. Pipkin did a good job of hitting some big plays on some crossing routes. And then we got down there to the red zone, and then, we again ran an off-tackle play right there, and Boggs did a good job of finding the end zone.
No, the Dragons cracked that score at the end of the third quarter, 46-14 after 3 quarters of play. Get into quarter number 4 and only a minute and 10 seconds in. And James Hall, your senior running back, an 8-play, 56-yard drive, taking 3 minutes and 42 seconds off the clock, goes in from 1 yard out.
Yeah, and it started becoming let's meet in the end zone and have a lot of fun at this point. We got everybody on the sideline coming up. Hey, Coach, he hadn't had a touchdown. He needs a touchdown.
Gosh.
He hadn't caught a ball yet. And we're like, hey, guys, we're just going to run the offense and let it play out, because we didn't have to do anything special at that point. And, to our advantage right there, South Dakota really didn't want to play anymore. And our guys were just really getting after him right there, blocking downfield for each other. And it was good to see James Hall. He made a really nice cut right there in the end zone on his own play and found the crease to get in. And, James Hall has been a staple in our backfield for a couple years now.
Yep.
And so it was good to see him get in the end zone and score right there. And I think that was our 4th rushing TD of the day at that point.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Again, another really good drive right there. And it's good to see. You're going to get big plays where you score quick on several drives. But, you knew everybody's doing their job when you get nice long drives and very, very methodical, series right there.
And, like you had just said, we said it in the broadcast, it was great to see James Hall get in the end zone. That guy has been through injury adversity since he's been here, pardon me. But, nobody's worked harder than James Hall, and it's great to see him get in the end zone.
Without a doubt. He started the season a little banged up coming back from that injury, and every week he's healthier and healthier. And I tell you what, James did a good job all game too, cutting down that outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Some of our screens, some of our quick jet sweeps right there. He gets after that outside linebacker now.
Well, in the fourth quarter, the Dragons get their final score of the game. This is a 53-yard touchdown, but that's a little deceiving because your freshman wide receiver, speedster, boy, he was moving. Austin Rankin is a 53-yard pass. This one from Joey Frendo.
Right.
It's a 6-play, 79-yard drive that takes 3 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock, but Austin probably did 40, 45 of that on his own.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a second and long, and they were blitzing us, so they had everybody on the line of scrimmage, and we're going to run our offense. It doesn't make sense to run into a wall. And when they got everybody on the line of scrimmage blitzing, there's nowhere to really run.
Yeah.
So we just hit Rankin on it's a 3-step route, part of our quick game package. And he makes the first guy miss, and then he kind of sees a crease all the way back side of the field. So kind of funny, he makes the first guy miss. Then he kind of cuts back to the middle field, makes another guy miss. Me and Coach Easter over there yelling at him, saying, get upfield, tuck the ball away. And he keeps cutting all the way back, and then he outruns him to the corner of the end zone right there. So, I think the report on the website said we threw a 53-yard bomb. Well, I wish all bombs were that easy.
Yeah,
that was just a 3-step route right there. But Rankin did a good job right there. Good to see another true freshman find the end zone. I mean, he was smiling ear from ear when he got off the field, and some of the upperclassmen were celebrating with him, and we even made the joke to Tyler Jones right there. Hey man, you better look out because we think the freshman behind you is a lot faster than you. So of course Tyler Jones runs over to him. Hey, you better tuck that ball away high and tight. You're not doing it good enough.
I'm sure. Yeah, it did look like he was dancing a little bit at first there. We were, those jump cuts you're talking about. Looked like from press box, looked like he wasn't sure what he was going to do. But then once he decided to go, he outran everybody.
Well, we always talk to him about, hey, there's nothing back inside the field right there. There's nothing but pain inside.
Yeah.
And because usually that's where the defense is coming from.
Yeah.
And like I said, he made the first guy miss and jumped back inside, and then he makes a safety miss, and he saw a crease and took it. So good to see Joey Frendo make a nice throw and get an easy touchdown pass right there. And, another all-around good play right there. And I think at that point, too, we had true freshman guard in. We had a sophomore center in, and we had all new.
Well, it made it difficult on us. We were trying to figure out who's on the field out there in the ball at the press box. But and then we saw Joey Frendo after the game, and he had a big old smile on his face too. He was happy Austin got in the end zone for
sure.
him.
That's an easy way to pad the stats right there. Throw the ball 3 yards and get 53.
Absolutely. Well, final score of the game came from the Hard Rockers. Patrick Burke, a 35-yard touchdown pass from their quarterback Ben Broker. It was a one-play, 35-yard drive, took 9 seconds off the clock, and when the final buzzer sounded, the Dragons walk away with a 60-21 victory.
Yeah, good road win for us. When you're traveling that far, you always worry about how are we going to travel? What are the glitches in the trip? Does the restaurant run out of food? Does the hotel tell us they don't have enough rooms for us all of a sudden? Yeah. I mean, a lot of different stuff that obviously we plan ahead for, but sometimes things happen on the road that you're unprepared for. And, I thought the staff did a great job preparing for this trip. You were with us. Every meal was fantastic.
Spaghetti Works we went to was pretty good stuff, but that was nice.
Every meal was fantastic. The hotel was great. Everybody was on time for all the meetings. No issues with the buses. I mean, everything is really good. And, hopefully we're learning as a program to travel well. And, so I felt we did that. It was also good to have a win like this where you can get, your twos and even threes into the mix and see some good things out of them because, again, you can't replace game reps. So, traveling back, everybody knew we had a long trip home, but I tell you what, eating the dinner on the bus and everybody smiles and feeling good about themselves, that's how you're supposed to travel.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. You look at some of the statistics at the end of the game, it's almost a record-setting day in a few aspects.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset about one of them because we were 1 yard off. I wish we'd have known that, but it happens.
Yeah, overall 634 total yards, 191 on the ground, 443 through the air. You did have more penalties than they did, 7 penalties for a total of 54 yards, but 10 of 15 on third down. You got to like those numbers.
That was really good. Yeah, and again, it goes to, I think, the confidence that you're seeing grow within Pipkin. He knows where receivers are supposed to be. He's starting to throw them open, not wait for them to get open. And the offensive line, they're hunkering in there, giving him protection. And then, the young man hurts you with his legs. I mean, so you just can't all-out blitz him because if he gets past that first wave, there's nobody else left. Yeah,
for the game, Antonio Pipkin goes 31 of 40 for 319, 3 touchdowns, and then 1 interception, which defensive lineman made a good play on that one, able to knock the pass down up into the air, and then while he was being blocked still was able to gather it in and make a nice play.
Yeah. Right there. And, I've been very proud about Pipkin all year, really protecting the ball. He hasn't had that many turnovers, and that was a good play by that stand-up linebacker right there. But the young man was 79% completion, for the day.
You'll take it.
And he threw for over 400 yards. I mean, that's a really good outing by him.
But Tyler Jones could tell him that his QBR was better. His quarterback rating was better than Antonio's.
Don't tell Tyler Jones that. He'll be involved asking for more throws.
Well, speaking of Tyler Jones, how many different receivers caught balls in this game? 10 different receivers caught balls in this ball game.
Something like that.
Yeah, and Tyler Jones led the way with catches with 8 of them, but Marcus with 4 of them for 105. A lot of those came from courtesy of Tyler Jones. But it was nice to see him spread the wealth around. That goes back to what you were saying, him going through the progression. Sometimes you had the third or fourth receiver on those progressions.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I tell you what, going back, we were 1 yard away from breaking the all-time passing record for Tiffin University, and we had 6 drops. So just make one of those catches, and we easily have it.
Yep.
And, make more than half of those catches, and Pipkin is well over 80% completion. So there's still room for improvement. And, my wife's sitting there Sunday as I'm grading the film. I'm shaking my head. I'm not happy because we could have done this better. We could have done that better. And she's like, you've got to enjoy the win. It's like, I do. Don't misunderstand. I enjoy the win. But, this young offense – we can be so much better, and it's kind of funny. After the game, their coach came over and said, Coach, you guys are going to be really, really good. You're so young, and for you to do what y'all did, and I kind of smiled and said, hey, thank you so much, Stacy. I said, we're excited, but we still got to get a lot better, because our conference is a really good football conference and the best in the country. So it is encouraging, and everybody's feels great about the win, and it was a long trip. We get the young man off today. We'll come back in the office tomorrow and get started up with a game plan with them. But, I'm sure that our receivers, quarterback, offensive line, and our defense, are going to come in practice very excited, ready to get back to work because, the taste of winning is good.
Absolutely.
And winning can be a habit too, and that's what we got to make around here. Winning is a habit, just like losing can be a habit. And we're excited to get that road win. But you know what? It's Monday at 5:00 already. That's well behind us.
Yeah.
We've been staring at Walsh for the last 2 days, and we're anxious to get on the practice field and kind of show the game plan to the guys.
Well, it's interesting. You say that's great. Coach saying you guys are going to be really good because you're so young. It's nice to hear that because we hear a lot of negative things, and it's because we're so young.
Yeah, I know. Again, we've
harped on this so many times.
No doubt. And I want to be good now.
Yeah,
I know we're going to be good, and we've got some good players, and we need maybe a piece here or there. We need depth at the offense line or linebacker position, but we do have very talented young men. We've got a quarterback. I mean, we've got a guy whose sky's the limit for him. We had George Whitfield here last week, and he sat down and watched a little bit of film with me, and he said, "Coach, I'm around a lot of really good quarterbacks."
Yes,
he goes, "Let me tell you, you got something special in this Pipkin kid." And I said, "We know. We know." So that's all exciting. But, hey, we got a lot of football left ahead of us this year.
Yeah.
We want to be good this year. And, we need to put 2-2 back-to-back, 2 wins back-to-back.
Well, back to work. Tell us a little bit about Walsh. This Saturday, 1:30 kickoff at Frost County.
Yeah, Walsh has got a very good defense. Offensively, they like to spread you out. And they got a really good quarterback. They got a receiver that transferred from Michigan. Coach Ison knows him. He was on the staff to help recruit him. So they've got some weapons. Defensively, they lost Sir Taylor from a year ago, who's an all-conference safety.
Yes, he was.
But let me tell you what, they've got a safety this year that is very good too. And, they don't give up a lot of big plays defensively. They're pretty sound. But, we got a few things up our sleeve that I think we're very confident about. And we just need to move the chains, one series at a time, one play at a time. And I think we'll be okay. And we're playing at home. They're the ones who have to travel this week, not us. I think the rest of their schedule, they're on the road. They've had something like 6 straight home games.
Oh, wow.
I think the other home game was an away game that they played Malone, which is at their home.
At their stadium, yeah.
So now they've got to travel. But they're 2-5 like us. They've had some tough losses, games that they really should have won. But I tell you what, they're a lot like us. I think they're a dangerous football team, and they do play hard. So
yeah, it should be a great matchup this Saturday. 1:30 kickoff at Frost County Stadium. You can tune into our pregame show. Start about 1 p.m. right about half an hour beforehand. So let's take another break, and we'll come back and talk to one of your student athletes.
Sounds good.
All right, this is the Gary Goff Show, and you are watching and listening to the Tiffany University Dragon Radio Network. Goff Show here on the Tiffany University Dragon Radio Network. Well, Coach, we reviewed the game against the Hard Rockers. We talked a little bit about Walsh this coming Saturday. Now let's meet one of your student athletes. Why don't you introduce the young man to your left?
Yeah, we got Justin Hernstein from Buckeye Central. He's one of our recruits from a couple years ago. And unique thing about him is he started off at safety, and he's continuing to get bigger and stronger. And because of a few injuries this year, we've moved him down to Sam linebacker, and he's had a really great, what has it been, 3 weeks now? Or maybe 4?
I think it's been close to 4.
Close to 4 weeks we moved you down. Of course, the first week you were trying to figure out where you were. Yeah. So, anyway, Justin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Justin. Welcome to the Gary Goff Show.
Thanks for having me.
So, did you play safety in high school, or did you play some linebacker? Is this position new to you?
I never played linebacker until I got here. I played safety all through high school.
Well, we've mentioned him before in the program, Coach. You've talked about, another 20 pounds on his frame would do this young man a world of good.
I tell you what, I mean, he's got a lot bigger than from a year ago, you know. Yeah. But we recruited him. We were at the state championship game, and we watched him and Tyler Irwin, you know, on their team. And I tell you what, two of the toughest young men on the field. Yeah. And you know, Justin played tight end. He also played safety. But you know, talking about running downhill and laying the wood, because he did that in state championship games. So we knew he was somebody that, you know, he could come into the program, grow a little bit, and be, you know, some value. And I tell you what, this year I think we've kind of found his home. He made a nice interception this week right before the half. I think his ball skills and his speed from being in the secondary so much is going to help him as outside linebacker. Yeah,
your New Washington Buckeye Central High School has had a pretty good run of success for some of the smaller schools in the state here for recently, and you were a big part of that.
Yeah, our senior year we ended up going all the way to state. We lost. The year before that we had gone to it was the first year making the playoffs in like 5 or 6 years. So throughout my high school we were very successful, and it was just fun.
You like the transition to the linebacker spot?
Oh yeah. At first I was kind of iffy about it just because I'd never played it before, but now that I'm there and settling in, I love it.
What's making you smile about it?
It's just
he likes the action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you get more action at sandbacking than you do safety sometimes.
Yeah,
you know. But funny thing about it is, me and Coach Schoitzo, since camp, you know, we're watching him. I'm like, you know, I'm sure he might be a linebacker. You know, I mean, because we're pretty deep at safety, and I was like, you know, the guy will hit you. I know he doesn't weigh the 240 we might want a linebacker to weigh, but he's obviously got the size and height, and he can run. And so, kind of the inside joke on the staff has been, especially when Finch got hurt, hey, have y'all thought about moving Justin down to Sam? Well, you know, I'm not sure. We finally did it. And after the first practice, me and Coach Schoitz are in there telling Coach Terry, man, did you see Justin today? Hey, that guy made plays. He's making tackles. Man, he's going to be so good. And, hey, Glenn, you keep coaching him up after practice.
Well, you don't want to tell these young men how all the good things you say about him off the field, because you got to make sure that you continue to make him work on the practice field, Coach.
Without a doubt.
You got to be careful about that.
He will. He will. I know his parents. They'll make sure that happens.
You miss playing on the offensive side of the ball at all?
I kind of miss the action and stuff, but at the same time, like, I just like being on defense, being able to like hit people, and I feel like it's more like physical and feel tougher.
Linebacker, I guess, does sound tougher.
That was shot at me and you there, Marcus. No, but you know, he's definitely helped us a lot. And I tell you what, like I said, I think we found his home right there, and he'll get bigger and stronger without a doubt. And you know, he can play the ball in the air. He can cover the slot receiver when he has to, and he doesn't back away from contact at all.
That has to be a nice a nice bonus to be able to move him down to that position, to be able to handle that slot receiver. You know, because that could be tough for some linebackers to move out there and do that.
Oh, without doubt. And I think especially in this conference, you see so many linebackers that are just run stoppers. You know, they just want to plug the hole right there. And we try to take advantage of that, get them out in space and make them cover receivers. So, you know, I think Justin right there is going to give us a little bit of advantage against some teams.
What made you decide to want to be a Dragon?
First off, it was just close. Like, it was an area team, and when I came on the visit, I really liked just the coaches, and like the facilities and everything were really nice. And when I came, I saw like a program that was turning in the right direction, and something that like I wanted to be a part of, and I'm proud to be part of something like that.
He was a really good baseball player too. We were worried there for a little bit that he might, you know, go play baseball. So, you know, lucky for us, he did.
Well, we were talking to Coach Durr on Friday night, and then during the game on Saturday, we were referring to the defense as the Durricane defense. After what he was saying to us, he said, "Can you guys play the rock you like a hurricane, like when you're doing the broadcast?" We're like, yeah, the Durricane defense. But talk a little bit about Coach Durr and playing for him.
I really like him a lot. Like, every week he comes with a great game plan, and he really lets us know like what's going on with the other teams and stuff, and he just sets up a great defense, and he's a great coach to play under.
Tough transition from Buckeye Central High School to Division II college football?
Yes, it was. Last year was a big eye-opener, and it was definitely a lot to adjust to. And
what is the biggest adjustment you had to get? Is it speed or size?
Definitely the speed and the size. It's not like playing high school football, especially playing against like real small schools and stuff like I was used to.
I tell you what, you know, good example of a young man that, you know, originally walked on and then has worked his way into a starting position and scholarship, because, you know, just a year ago he was on the practice squad. You know, so that means he was on the defense giving us a look and, you know, taking his beatings over there. It's never easy to be on the practice squad.
No, but
and you know, came to work every day with a great attitude, do exactly what we asked him to, and worked hard. And now look, he's a starter for us, and just goes to prove that you can outwork somebody and earn a starting position right there. So credit to him for never having a bad attitude of working hard and earning a starting position.
What are you studying here at Tiffany University?
Business management and marketing.
And where do you see yourself on the defensive side of the ball for the Dragons? Like, what is your strengths do you think that you bring to the defensive side of the ball?
Just being able, to like cover out in the flats and, being able to tackle when I can, but still being able to cover. Just kind of being more of like being able to do a lot more different things and just.
Well, I guess being able to move from one position to another. I guess that does mean being able to do more than one thing on a football. Not being a one-trick pony, to say.
Right.
Well, Coach, you got anything else for Justin?
No, we're very excited about him. I think the sky's the limit for him because you can tell he's a hard worker. Like I said, he's just going to get bigger and stronger.
What's the number you want? 230, 240 on him?
I don't know. What are you weighing right now?
Right now I'm close to like 205, 210. So
he'll probably be 220 next year, easy.
Yeah,
easy.
That's what I'm hoping for.
225 sounds good to me.
If not, bye Coach Ison.
Yeah.
That's another inside joke, but anyway.
Right.
We're very excited to have Justin. And he's the kind of young man we want in the program. Hardworking, comes from a great family. They surprised him on this away trip.
Great family travel. That's fantastic.
Well, they were at his brother's game on Friday night. Got on the road at 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Got there 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so got there at 8.
And surprised him at the game right there. So,
well, Coach, we talk all the time about bringing in high-character kids from great families, and right there is proof positive of it.
No doubt. No doubt.
Well, Justin, thank you so much for joining us. Tell your parents thanks for making the trip, man. Tell them last 4 weeks is going to be a lot quicker or a lot easier trips to make. So pretty cool they made the trip. That's awesome. And,
he played so good. I told him after the game, I said, hey, I don't care if it's a home game. Maybe I should tell Justin we can't make it. Sorry, and then surprise him.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever works.
All right. Well, we'll let you out the hot seat, and Coach, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with one more of your student athletes.
Sounds good.
All right, stick around. This is the Gary Goff Show on the Tiffany University Dragon Radio Network. Goff Show here on the Tiffany University Dragon Radio Network. Coach, we did the review, we did the preview, we talked to Justin Hernstein, and we have another student athlete to introduce now.
Yeah, we got one of our receivers, another one of our characters. I think all of our receivers are characters. Marcus Burham, he's from Detroit, Michigan. He transferred into us a couple years ago. This is his third season with us, and I tell you what, the young man is really becoming a threat out there on the perimeter, and he has worked very hard in all-around games as far as blocking, catching, you name it. So, yeah. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Marcus, here on the Gary Goff Show. You're not only catching touchdown passes from quarterbacks, but you're catching touchdown passes from wide receivers, too.
Yeah.
How was that, having fellow wide receiver Tyler Jones throw you a touchdown pass?
It was good. I feel like it's kind of like our tradition because ever since the McKendree week, we ran the same play at Diablo. So it was fun. It was a fun experience. Me and him always get hype about it in practice, so we kind of feel like that's our play.
Coach, you got to tell him what was interesting about it.
I told Russ, I said, the sad thing about that play when I watched it Sunday, watching the film is, Marcus catches a touchdown pass. He sees a flag, and Marcus doesn't celebrate. He stands there in this panic look because he's had 2 or 3 touchdowns called back this year because of flags.
Yeah, I was actually telling some of my teammates that, that's why I really couldn't celebrate the way I wanted to, but it was cool that this one wasn't on us.
And didn't Tyler's pass seem like it was up there for 5 seconds?
Yeah, you can see you kind of slowing it a little bit. It was interesting to watch, that's for sure. So it was a fun victory for the Dragons out there at Drake University. Talk a little bit about what you thought about the game.
I thought we played good. I thought we played great, actually. 4 quarters. Even like the backups that got in, they continued the momentum. And it was good that we finally got clicking. With a freshman quarterback back there, we wanted him to feel comfortable and know that he got some nice security blankets that can bail him out.
Well, you've played with a few different quarterbacks since you've been here at the Dragons, but your name keeps marching up the record books at Tiffin University. It's got to be kind of neat to see your names on that list with guys like Nate Washington up there.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because my dad texted me sometime last week and was like, "Do you see the segment that they doing you like on the website?" And I was like, "No." Like I like knew about it, but I didn't know it was something like that. But I'm just very honored and thankful to being under a great coaching staff to coach me up and to get me in that position.
We talk about the coaching staff. We always have to ask the wide receivers, what's it like to work with Coach East?
Coach East, he's a great coach. He's a great coach. Obviously, somebody that played in the SEC and in the NFL level. He was able to give us a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge about the game on and off the field. So he's a great coach to be under.
Yeah, he'll let you know when you're not doing things right.
Exactly.
But he's also, like, when you do something right, he's the first coach ever to greet you when you come off the field.
Yeah, you need that. You need that in a coach to get you both good and bad. You got to be able to take constructive criticism. So it's it's good. Some players you just got to learn to adapt to it and be coachable.
Yeah, the poor receivers on this team, they don't have a chance because they got two guys that play the position. We don't let them get away with anything.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Nothing.
So how'd you end up at Tiffin University from Detroit, Michigan?
I first attended Bowling Green State University. Was there my freshman year. Transferred middle of camp, and I liked it. I liked it. The direction coach was taking the team, and the air raid offense. We throwing the ball every play, be able to make those plays, and it's close to home. I figure it's closer to BG. I think.
Yeah.
But I like it here. I like it here a lot.
How come every wide receiver we ask what brought you to Tiffin University, they bring up the words air raid offense?
That's basketball on grass. Everybody wants to play basketball.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, kind of the strange thing about Marcus, though, he's like a couple receivers I've had in the past that when he runs, he just glides. So he runs effortless, so sometimes we'll yell at him, run, and he actually is, but, he'll cover a lot of ground, but he just does it at ease,
Yeah.
So, sometimes at practice or whatnot, we might get on him, hey, you're not running fast enough. You got to go, man. And then we'll watch film. Hey, he actually was running. He's just very fluid, But, I think Marcus has grown up a lot here in the last 2 years and has matured on and off the field. But, he's learning to practice harder, and this year he's done a great job at that. And he's starting to get on to the other guys when they're kind of, just trying to get through the day.
Well, you are a seasoned veteran here pretty much
sir.
now, and it's well documented how young this team is. Do you feel like it's part of your duty here on this team to take a leadership role, not only on the game field, but in the practice field as well?
Yes. I'm not really a vocal guy. Like a lot of people tell me like I'm quiet, stay to myself, but when I feel the need to speak, I'll speak and just lead by example. You can talk all you want, but until you actually get out there and do it and prove it, then I think guys will start following.
Yeah, leaders can be vocal leaders, and leaders can be lead by example, and I guess you need all kinds, don't you?
Oh, no doubt. We need all kinds and more for sure. But no, Mark's very proud of him. He's done a lot of good things here in the last several years, and again, a young man that's going to continue to work hard. And I don't know where he is on the all-time reception record right now, but
he's working up there.
He's got a chance to finish this year strong, and then we still have him for another year.
Yep.
Yeah, you're one of those guys that have been on the field since you got here, so the other teams think, well, Marcus Bieren's been there forever. One of those guys. But what are you studying here at Tiffin University?
Sports management.
Sports management.
Yes,
You're
sir.
a junior right now?
Yes, on the field, but I'm a senior actually. Yep, in the classroom.
So you're scheduled to graduate, and then you'll continue on as you finish up your final year of eligibility here?
Yep, yes, sir.
That's
It's scary thinking about it because, it just came just like that.
Yeah.
It just seems like I was a freshman like last year, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we only got 4 games left in the season. It's hard to believe we only got four weeks left in the regular season.
And then you'll be a senior.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Well, talk a little bit about what you think are your strengths for this football team. We talked about the leadership. How about otherwise?
I just try to be there when my team needs me to be there. Catching, speed, of course, but I'm really trying to focus in more on my blocking to try to be the all-around complete player, because I know as a receiving core, we all stepped it up tremendously on our blocking. So I'm just here to help the team.
We just talked about Armstrong's nice catch and run, and we pointed out that Mitchell was blocking downfield and is what sprung that. So
exactly.
Yeah, well, if you want to be on the football field as wide receiver, you got to be able to catch the ball and you got to be able to block.
Well, we don't ask them to block a whole lot, and I might be guilty at telling some receivers when I've recruited them, hey man, you don't have to stock block from me. But no, they do have to block downfield for us some and help spring each other. And we tell them all the time, those running backs, they block a lot for the receivers, and when we hand the ball to the running backs, we need to be able to block downfield for them to return the favor.
And you got a talented core of wide receivers on this football team. Talk a little bit about some of the other guys that are on the team that are talented kids as well.
Tony Shedd, Tyler Jones, Jeremy Armstrong, it's a lot. Austin Rankin, Jacob Schneider, Santoro, Mark Rogers at tight end. That's another guy I think that needs to, be mentioned with us. Mark Rogers, he does a lot as well for us.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, we got a lot of talent. I feel like everybody had a good game.
A lot of people caught balls last week.
Exactly, like as a core. So it feels good to be playing with those guys. I like playing with those guys. We develop nice chemistry off the field and during camp. So
and you guys were getting pretty excited when freshman Austin Rankin got his touchdown pass, weren't you?
Yeah, because he's so quiet. It's hard to read Austin. He doesn't talk at all. So
he was all smiles. Yeah. He's all smiles. Yeah. I don't know if he still might not have said a word, but
exactly. So it was good to see him get a touchdown. That was a good moment in the game.
You got anything else for this young man, Coach?
No, very excited. We got him here with us. He's going to continue to be a big part of while we're turning this program around. Been a good young man. He takes care of his grades, got really good grades, and never had an issue with him, so he's a pleasure to coach.
Well, Marcus, I really do appreciate you joining us, and it's been a pleasure to watch you the last few years here on the football field. I came in with Coach Goff at the same time, and so I've got to see every game you played here as a Dragon, and look forward to much more, finish off this year and next year as well. But thank you so much for joining us on the program and being a part of it, and best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm one of your great student athletes, Coach. You got a great group of kids here, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, we're excited about them, and like I said, I think the sky's the limit for our entire program. Obviously, we just want to start running. We don't want to crawl anymore.
Yes, sir. Well, let's thank our sponsors for making today's program possible. Our title sponsors are the Ohio Mutual Insurance Group, Jim Kennedy's office, and CF Professionals Incorporated, Gary Gruse's office. Our other sponsors include Viewpoint Graphics, Tiffin Ace Hardware, Steyer Seeds, State Farm Insurance at Lape's office, Seneca Hills Golf Course, Ralph's Joy of Living, the Pioneer Mill Restaurant, and Marco's Pizza. So, Coach, this Saturday, another tough GLIAC contest as Walsh comes in, 2 home games in a row to finish off, and then 2 road games to finish off the regular season. But, this is going to be a great matchup. 2 teams hungry for a win, and should be a fantastic football game.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, they're going to come in here and play really hard. They play hard on both sides of the ball. I think they're talented on both sides of the ball. They had a chance to, beat a couple of teams. They lost last week to Ashland 14-6. They played Ohio Dominican very close until the end right there. They're going to come in hungry and expect to win. But you know what? We're at home. We expect to win too. We got to put in our work this week and have a great week of practice and then go out and execute. If we'll execute like we did last weekend, I'm very, very, very confident, and it should be a lot of fun.
And it's going to be a lot quicker trip to the stadium, so that's going to be a nice thing. But thank everybody so much for joining us on the Tiffin University Dragon Radio Network, and to our friends on our YouTube channel and on the local access channel 10 here in Tiffin and Seneca County as well. 1:30 kickoff at Frost Cowanal Stadium this Saturday. 1 o'clock will be our pregame. Make sure you join us and get on down to the stadium and support your Tiffin University Dragons. For our guest and for Coach Gary Goff, I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Dragons, saying thank you so much for joining us, and go Dragons here on the Tiffin University Dragon Radio Network.